Anna Eleanor Roosevelt was born on October 11, 1884, in New York City to Anna and Elliot Roosevelt. Both of Eleanor's parents died when she was very young. After the death of her parents, she attended a prestigious school in England where she transformed from a shy girl into a self-confident young woman. In 1905, after she moved back to the United States, she married her distant cousin, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. She bore 6 children, but only 4 of them lived past infancy.
Eleanor Roosevelt originally viewed politics as a cross she had to bear. She opposed the suffrage movement and remained shy for much of the beginning of her husband's involvement in politics. However, when he became Assistant Secretary of the Navy and the family moved to Washington, Eleanor's attitude quickly began to change. She found personal identity in wartime activity outside the home. She worked long hours at the hospitals, boosting her self-esteem and developing her administrative abilities by doing tangible good for soldiers.
In August of 1921, Franklin Roosevelt was diagnosed with polio. Eleanor, somewhat trying to help fill Franklin's absence in politics while he fought the disease, began working with women's organizations such as Florence Kelley's Consumers League and the League of Women Voters. She became his legs and ears.
When Franklin became president in 1932, Eleanor dramatically changed the role of the First Lady. In 1933, she became the first First Lady to hold a press conference. Appropriately, only female reporters were invited. She also wrote a newspaper column for the duration of FDR's presidency. Eleanor was the first prominent woman to speak out for human rights, children's causes, and women's issues. She focused on helping the country's poor, stood against racial discrimination, and traveled abroad to visit U.S. troops in World War II. Although she was heavily criticized by some for her active role in public policy, she continued to influence politics and the role of the First Lady.
On April 12, 1945, Franklin Roosevelt passed away. Directly following her husband's death, Eleanor claimed that she was done with politics. However, she went back on this claim. Eleanor served as a delegate to the United Nations General Assembly, focusing on human rights and women's issues. Eleanor became chair of the United Nations Human Rights Commission and helped to write the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted by the General Assembly in December of 1948. Here she discusses the document's purpose.
Ever since the Declaration of Human Rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, was passed in Paris in 1948 on December the 10th, we have fostered the observance of this day not only in the United States but throughout the world. The object is to make people everywhere conscious of the importance of human rights and freedoms. The reason for that is that these are spoken of and emphasized in the Charter of the United Nations and the
Eleanor Roosevelt died on November 7, 1962, of cancer. She was a revolutionary woman and will forever be remembered for her actions in changing the role of the First Lady.